Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. I share my 20 plus years of trading experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 49,493, down 0.23%. Ethereum trading at 37.98, up 0.87%. Sol's doing really well, up 21.95%. Go Sol. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. I'd like to share Rule 402 with you. Positive or negative wealth is always growing. Whatever you do, every single day you either grow positive wealth or you grow negative wealth. It's really important to understand one or the other is growing every single day. When people think about wealth, they think about money. Ayn Rand said it very well. Money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver of your life. The driver remains the same. Money may upgrade your car or motorcycle or bicycle or whatever it is, but you are still the driver. Will Smith said it really well. Money and success don't change people. They merely amplify what is already there. Whatever a person is, they just become more of that person. Our community is dedicated to the accumulation of real wealth, but it's really important to know what negative wealth is. Negative wealth, people can have money and have negative wealth. People can have money and have real wealth. The choice is theirs. Often it's not quite known by the person what kind of wealth they actually have, especially if we give money the narrow definition of wealth. Some examples of negative wealth: dishonesty, rudeness, thanklessness, agitation, conflict, entitlement, fear and doubt, fakeness, disrespect, criticism, laziness, anxiety. These literally are negative wealth. People, when they live from a position of negative wealth, they don't have much happiness. Certainly more money will help, but it's still the same person. What we stand for as a community is to delete negative wealth. Well, it's really to cancel it out. There are many things that money can never buy. One of them is real wealth. Some components of real wealth: integrity, decency, gratitude, happiness, inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, purpose, fearlessness, confidence, generosity, empathy and love, and of course money is always a part of wealth as well. You can imagine two people with the same amount of financial wealth. Maybe they've got $10 million. One has real wealth, has all the things that you see here. The other one has negative wealth, all the things that you see here. What do you think? Which person is going to be happier with their life? What sort of behaviors go with negative wealth? What sort of behaviors go with real wealth? They're very different, aren't they? It's very saddening that there's a lot of marketing in the crypto space. People, influencers, talk about how much financial wealth people can have. But many of these influencers that I look at don't have real wealth at all. It comes out in their behavior, how they act. It's a real focus of our community to look at negative wealth and say, we don't want that. We want real wealth. To improve your life, grow your real wealth. You can do that instantly, and it doesn't cost anything except your time, attention, and focus. Of course, it's really important to maximize real wealth and maximize financial wealth. But when you start with real wealth, you're getting gains immediately. Crypto takes a little bit of time. to get into the swing of things. Crypto is an incredibly volatile asset class. Every day, 7 days a week, we talk about how to acquire real wealth inside our community through these videos, and especially through the chat on YouTube. We're interested and focused on things like inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, strength, confidence, kindness, generosity, balance, respect, affection, courage, honor. They're really all the things that make life truly worthwhile. I'd just like to thank the very generous members of our community who have reached out and shown their appreciation by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. No matter what, the trend and the timing videos will always be free. Your gratitude and appreciation really touches my heart. Thank you so much. Rule 174, T-Cube, trend, timing and trigger. We're going to look at trend using the KS process to uncover the true trend. The first thing we do is look at investment substitutability. The S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, up 32% in the past 12 months. Precious metals, down 7%. Bitcoin up 381% for the past year. Now let's have a look at the Bitcoin trend. Fidelity Investments recently came out with a very good research report. What does this tell us? This S-curve, this is all about adoption. What we see here, I'm just summarizing this for you, less than 1% of the population, this is the percentage of population through the OECD, has an active Bitcoin address. Less than 3% of the world's population holds Bitcoin. What's going to happen when it goes to 6% or 9% or 12%? Whoa. Now, interesting that crypto is the next evolution of the internet. Here we see that about 83% of the population, the world's population, are internet users. What this means is that there is about an 83-to-1 relationship between the internet and active Bitcoin addresses, and there's a 27.7% relationship between this 83 and 3. If we take the current price of Bitcoin and just multiply it by that, we could expect that when we get full adoption, Bitcoin, all things being equal, could be $1.4 million into the future, or potentially, if we use this one, which is active addresses, potentially around the $4.2 million per Bitcoin. Now, this is a very, very basic way to do things, but I just want to give you a bit of a feeling on how we're going in terms of the trend. Fidelity's report also showed the incredible volatility of crypto compared to main markets, the stock market. Here we're looking at a correction of 10% or more, and a bear market is often triggered by a correction of 20% or more. For crypto, we say 10% is just any typical day of the week, and 20% is every other week. You can see how common it is in crypto for big, massive drawdowns. These drawdowns are not anticipated by the majority of people who come in from traditional markets. They get really frustrated and very anxiety-ridden with crypto. But when you understand it, it's very different. That huge volatility also has a very significant upside. Fidelity Investments, using the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, is predicting around 2026 that the estimated price of Bitcoin will be around $1 million per Bitcoin. Not bad, is it? Heading towards 2030, they're predicting around $10 million per Bitcoin. What's the price now? $49,555. Sounds like a pretty good deal. If Fidelity Investments is correct, so who are Fidelity Investments? Who are these people? Are they reputable? Absolutely, they're reputable. Incredibly reputable. Assets under management, a mere $4.2 trillion as of June 2021, founded in 1946. Wow. It's regarded as one of the world's premier, if not the premier, asset investors. If we go to the Fidelity Investments website, we see that they have 38 million individual investors, around 83 million total customer accounts, 2.6 million trades per day, and $11.1 trillion in total customer assets. You can see when Fidelity puts out something, it's very well considered and very, very well researched. They have the top minds working for them. Turning to the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we're currently in the bull market psychology of the current rally. This is like sunlight. We must always compare like psychologies. Sunlight to sunlight, darkness to darkness. Oh, when does darkness happen? It happens in the bear market. Basically what we get in the bull market is a rocket taking off. Rocket, 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 it's going to the moon. It hits the moon. The moon says, get out of here, rocket, go back to Earth. And the price goes down around 85%. And then the rocket is rebuilt in consolidation. And then it takes off, rocket, 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 all the way up to the moon, and then it goes down 85%. And you might say, Ken, 85%? What's that? Every third week? That sounds really scary. Oh no, what does it mean for a long-term perspective? I'm really glad you asked. When we look at the long view model, here's these 85% reductions. They really, over the course and span of years, they don't really total up to much. Why is that? Because cryptos are exponential by nature. They're not linear. They're very, very different. That's why cryptos eat technical analysis for breakfast. And that's why this model just keeps on going up and up and up. A really interesting fact, on average, across the past 6 months, an average of 19.2 million new users were added into the crypto space. Now, something really, really interesting. If we take 221 million and divide it by the 7.9 billion people in the world, we get around 3%. It's quite interesting because what did Fidelity show us? Less than 3% of the population holds Bitcoin. It's really adding up and triangulating. You can see here, if we actually do a search on world population, it's around 7.9 billion people. So that's where I got the number from. 221 million accounts divided by 7.9 billion is just under 3%. We're not really searching for exact numbers here. We're just doing a rough acid test on Fidelity Investments analysis, basically, and it comes up to be on par. I've done an analysis of on-chain data. We're around this point in the previous bull market. You can see we've got a little bit of a way to go before we get this exponential blow off top. According to the on-chain data, we're around here. What I've done is to just zoom into the KS model and overlay the potential price path that we will see going forward. We can see that we're tracking this price path fairly reasonably at the moment. A lot of people were calling for a September sell-off. They're always calling for sell-offs all over the place. There's a lot of reasons why. You cannot get hammered if you say price is going to fall and everything is going to crash and the world is imploding, and then you get a happy surprise. The world goes up, everything is fine. You don't get a lot of criticism. But if people think it's going up and it doesn't go up, it in fact goes down, that can hang you out to dry in a manner of speaking. But how I look at it from the perspective of probabilities and realistically trading for over 30 years, I say, well, this is the data that I see. I'm sharing what I see with you in the attempt that it will help people out. Everything is based on probabilities. If the probabilities turn up and execute themselves, that's fantastic. That's what we're after. If we see something different, for example, a black swan event or something unexpected, we'll just deal with it when it comes. These are markets. They're always going up and down. Nothing is really ever certain. That's why we have to trade on a probabilistic stance. Let's have a look at the market indexes throughout the world. It's really important to keep this quote in mind. Deal with problems when they occur, not before. I know I repeat this a lot because it's so important. Not just investing and in trading, but also in life. Never act on fear. Looking around global markets, we can see the markets are pretty green. Russia, Canada, the US, Australia, New Zealand. Ooh, look at Japan. It's going for gold. A little bit of red in Brazil, in China and India, South Africa, but not too much, just a little bit in Mexico. From a sector performance issue, we can see the best performing sector was the energy sector, followed by healthcare and industrials. The worst performing, communication services, consumer discretionary, and information technology. Rule 109. Enhance pattern recognition. Just using your eye to determine how things are progressing is a very, very powerful thing to develop. Everything we do inside our community is really focused on cryptocurrencies, but crypto is just one investment vehicle, and there's also crypto stocks and crypto ETFs in the main market. That's why we do this analysis. Let's have a look at comparing Bitcoin versus the US stock market indexes. We can see that there was a fear uptick in the past session. What did that do? The Nasdaq went down, Bitcoin and the S&P 500 went down, the Dow went down, and the Russell 2000 came up. Comparing Bitcoin versus the DXY, the US dollar currency index, we can see the DXY is losing strength at the moment. Bitcoin is gaining strength. We can see that there's a degree of positive correlation between the two. One thing to always bear in mind, correlation does not and never means causation. It can from time to time, but realistically, Bitcoin is driven by the 4-year halving cycle, the DXY by other things. Let's have a look at comparing Bitcoin to the precious metals and the inverted DXY. That's the inverse. You can see the inverted DXY here in green. What are we seeing here? We see that the inverted DXY is almost like the gravity for precious metals. We see the inverted DXY coming down. Now what's happening to the precious metals? It's following it. We see it coming up here, the inverted DXY coming up. What's happening to gold? Coming up. Copper coming up. Palladium coming up. Silver coming up. Platinum coming up. Really, really interesting to look at the associations. Let's compare Bitcoin to treasury bonds. We can see the treasury bonds almost have this inverse relationship between Bitcoin and treasury bonds. For example, Bitcoin went up. What did treasury bonds do? They came down. Treasury bonds are going up. Now what's happening to Bitcoin? It's also going up. A lot of economic commentators will say, oh, well, this means that Bitcoin must come down. Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is Bitcoin is not driven by treasury bonds. It's actually driven by the halving cycle, the 4-year halving cycle. At the present time, maybe there's a case that it won't be driven by the 4-year halving cycle in the future, but for now, it definitely is. If we keep this in mind, really important to be independent of analysis. Don't think causality, just think association. Now, what are we seeing here? We're seeing that the bonds are coming up. The 20-year bond came up. The 7 to 10-year, the IEF, came up. 10 to 20 year, the TLH came up also. 3 to 7 years, the IEI came up. And the 1 to 3 years, the SHY, well, just a little bit flat. The reason that we look at this economic data is a lot of news outlets will say pretty outlandish things. They'll say, oh, there is a 100% relationship between the DXY and Bitcoin, for example. And it just doesn't bear out in the price. A lot of the work that I did when I was teaching first and second year stats was to help the students to understand that the media can distort things in so many different ways. It's important that we just follow the price action. That's why I'm bringing this up to you now, so you get prepared, because there's always an onslaught. Hey, guess what? Realistically, the media is there to sell advertising space. What's the best way to sell advertising space? To make you freak out. Okay, let's compare Bitcoin with bond yields. We see Bitcoin, Bitcoin here in yellow. We can see the bond yields here in the different colors. We see the 30-year T-bond yield, the TYX, just flattening out, but it's in an uptrend. We see the TNX, the 10-year T-bond yield, that's increasing. And the 0 to 5 year high yield corporate debt, we can see that that's the shy G. It's very shy. It's coming down and then going up. It's increasing as well. Remember, association and causation are completely different animals. We don't say anything causes anything else in this particular analysis. We're just keeping our eye on it. A lot of commentators are also calling for hyperinflation. And if they're not calling for that, they're calling for deflation. What does that data actually tell us? What is going on? When we compare Bitcoin to inflation expectations over the next 5 years and 10 years, we see inflation just ticking down a little bit at the moment. If we look at the trend, down and then up, what's the correlation or association between inflation and Bitcoin's price? Pretty well correlated, the two. But we never say it's a causation effect. Let's have a look at the transportation indexes and airlines. We can see airlines was coming down, but it's starting to recover. That's really good sign. We can see the transportation indexes were coming down. They're now also starting to recover. Excellent stuff. We see economic growth and transport move hand in hand. If they dephase, if they decouple, that's generally not a good sign. There's a lot of reasons economically that they could decouple from time to time. The health issues is definitely one of those things. Lockdowns is of course another. We look at Bitcoin, what is it doing? It came down, it's going up. Let's compare Bitcoin and oil. We can see Brent oil and crude oil increasing whilst Bitcoin was decreasing. Then we can see Bitcoin decreasing whilst oil was decreasing. Then we had a turnaround. This multi-phasing behavior occurs all the time in financial markets. I call it the indicator principle. If you've ever been behind a car, turning, for example, left or right at the lights, and you're behind it, turning in the same direction, when you put your indicator on, you'll notice a phasing. Your indicator will blink at the same rate as the car or bike in front of you, and then they'll go out of phase. That's exactly like financial markets. They're always moving in a multi-phase perspective. That's why when people create hard and fast rules which say, oh, this goes down and this always goes up, I call no. I say that's not fair and that's not true, because you'll lead people astray. You always have multi-phasing in financial markets. 30 plus years in the industry, I know it for sure. I see it every day. Let's turn our attention to crypto stocks and crypto ETFs. Comparing Bitcoin to Bitcoin ETFs, over the past month, over the past 30 days, we can see GDLC, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, up in front, up 72.15%. Go GDLC, good work. We can see the Bitwise 10 crypto up 40.23%, QBTC up 29.95%, BitC, that's the CoinShares physical Bitcoin, up 29.46%, 21XB, that's the 21 shares Bitcoin ETP, up 26.03%, and Bitcoin itself up around 24.66%. Let's quickly look into the components of the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. Now, what are those components? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, and Litecoin. Let's pop them up here and let's look at them on a weekly basis. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Chainlink. What do we see here? Remember, these are on a log scale because we need constant percentage increases, movements. We can see that there's very good support through here for Bitcoin. We can also see really good support for Ethereum, and Ethereum is really doing well now. It's seeking to take out its previous all-time high. Cardano doing really well. Look at this beautiful structure. It's taken out the previous all-time high. Bitcoin Cash deciding if it wants to eventually start moving again. Naughty Bitcoin Cash. You would think that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash would be more correlated, but you can see that's not so much. But BCH does tend to come up wildly when it gets going. We can see Litecoin. What's happening with Litecoin? We can see this support line being held quite well. It's quite a way or a degree under its previous all-time high. Chainlink is less below its previous all-time high. It's starting to come up. All good things. GDLC will really rally when the particular indexes start pumping up, but we should also realize that they don't have much of a share in Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Chainlink. In fact, you can see that Chainlink less than 1%, Bitcoin Cash less than 1%, and Litecoin 0.8%. Let's compare Bitcoin to public companies with Bitcoin exposure. Over the past 2 weeks, we can see HUT8 out in front, up 35.15%, followed by Mara, Marathon Digital, then SI, Silvergate Capital. Below that, HVBT, Hive Blockchain, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, Galaxy Digital, Voyager Digital, Bit Digital, and then Bitcoin. Below Bitcoin, Riot Blockchain, Coinbase Global, ALGO Blockchain, Bitfarms, and leading up last place, MicroStrategy. Let's have a look at that same performance over 1 year. We can see ALGO Blockchain taking out pole position, up 21.31%. Whoa, go ALGO. Voyager Digital up 1975%. Mara, Marathon Digital up 1673%. Bitfarms up 1628%. HUT8 up 989%. Riot up 948%. Hive Blockchain up 842%. Silvergate up 689%. Galaxy Digital 495% up. MicroStrategy up 364%. Bitcoin up 333%, nearly 334%. BTBT, Bit Digital up 172%. ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, up 61%. And poor old Coinbase Global down 18.31%. As this is a combined episode, we're going to get into the timing. Rule 174, TQ, trend, timing, and trigger. We're going to look at timing now. Using the KS method, the first thing we do is look at the news headlines. As though we're someone really new to the crypto space, we're just trying to figure out if the news is positive or negative. That is, would a new investor or trader buy or sell from the news? Belgian parking startup accepts Bitcoin payments for parking. This is called hodling with the extreme, isn't it? Wow, you can just pay for parking with Bitcoin now. Whoa. BitTorrent cryptocurrency went up 76% in the last ... That's very positive. Ooh, ALGO blockchain. Isn't that a company we just spoke about? You know all about ALGO now. Well, not all about ALGO, but certainly how it's been performing. It's really pleased with its Bitcoin mining performance. Good on you, ALGO. If they're pleased, I think I should buy it. Founder and operator of Bitcoin Mixer pleads guilty. Is this like a cocktail or something? What's he doing? He's pleaded guilty. Harmon agreed to forfeit more than 4,400 Bitcoin. Oh, naughty boy. Anyway, well, that's got to be negative. Bitcoin Ethereum on the rise. Sol recovers. Woo, it's on the rise. It's positive. Oh, look at Doge. Doge is playing basketball now. NBA's Dallas Mavericks shop to give rewards to customers. Is it something to do with Doge? Where is it? Where is it? Can pay with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum. It must be Doge. It's in the picture. What a cute little dog. Cryptocurrency prices today. Bitcoin retreats. Oh no, it's red. This is really bad. What's happening? Now I'm freaking out. I was so positive before as a new investor to crypto. 4 reasons why the Bitcoin rally has slowed. They know why? Wow, they're so clever. What's this? There's a new record. Ooh, black market as demand. Well, that's got to be positive. Cryptocurrency, the world's most popular and largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was up by 0.63%. That is incredible. Survey, 70% of El Salvadorians are not happy. Oh, there's a Bitcoin here. They're not happy with Bitcoin. Poor Bitcoin. With just 5 days to go before El Salvador passes this controversial Bitcoin law, there is still resistance to a law? Oh, it's the first time I've ever heard about resistance to a law. What is that? That must be negative. Okay, so what do we see here? For a person new to the crypto space, it's reasonably positive, but some negativity blended in there. Next thing we do is just have a look at the hash rate. We can see the hash rate, 65.08% of the hash power for the Bitcoin network is still located in China. Rule 302, study the top. Crypto total market cap is the one thing that we really need to have a look at. Total crypto market cap is $2.225 trillion. This is literally 11,588 cryptos moving as one chart. It can give incredible insight into the crypto market, and that's what you always want. If you can see further than anyone else, you're in advantage. And if you can't see what other people see, you're at a disadvantage. So seeing this data is really, really important. We can see that the crypto market has moved below once support, and that is under resistance. We have another support line holding up here, which will be activated around the $2.111 trillion mark. We can see liquidations over the past 24 hours were 255 million, occurring across 58,477 traders. Over the past 12 hours, 68% of liquidations were long. Looking at Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume was 76 billion, 13 billion in 24-hour open interest. We can see the change in the price of the contract over the past 24 hours. Bitcoin, negative 0.7%. That means Bitcoin is under pressure, negative price pressure. Ethereum, plus 1.2%. IOTA, in talking about the most increased gains, IOTA, 28%. Sol, 24%. BTT, AVAX, NEAR, HOT, RLC, and Ray, all showing above 10%. The losers, the most negative, C98, which is the only one, 10.4% negative. One thing just to bear in mind, the relative strength is still increasing under the total market. Turning to Bitcoin, we see the Fear and Greed Index is 74, which is greed. The futures, the perpetuals are currently short. Turning to the Bitcoin options, expiring at the end of the month, put-call ratio 0.52. Total open interest has decreased a little to 55,879.8. Max pain remains at 42,000. We see no issues with the stablecoin USDT. If there is any pressure from especially governments on regulation or investigations into stablecoins, and also any threats from central bank digital currency, it will show up in Tether. Right now, we don't see any problems at all. Bitcoin is currently 23.79% away from its previous all-time high. When we look at the relative strength is turning around. It's starting to increase in the market. That is really, really good for price momentum. We can also see that Bitcoin actually overcame this very heavy level of resistance, and it's on its way up. It's above the 200-day moving average, above the 26-day exponential moving average, also above the 50 and the 100-day moving average. Turning to Ethereum, Ethereum is currently 18.55% away from its previous all-time high. We can see Ethereum cross through this very strong level of resistance. It's now being supported. There was a bit of a downtick, and this particular candle says, I'm not going down anymore. That's about it. Time to go back up again. We can see price is quite above the 26-day exponential moving average. It's also above the 50, the 100, and the 200-day moving average. They're just simple moving averages, not exponential. Looking at the futures and options for Ethereum, the perpetual futures are currently short. On the option side, the put-call ratio is 0.56. There's been an increase in total open interest to 375,711. The max pain has remained at 2240. Since EIP 1559 was introduced, 677 million in ETH has been burned. We can also see that the relative strength has dramatically increased. It's on the way up. As far as the flippening is concerned, we can see that the market cap of Ethereum has come up to 47.8% of that of Bitcoin. It was at 46.8%. All other areas remain the same. We can see that Ethereum has not flipped Bitcoin. Looking at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see that this upward support line, what this means is that stablecoins are flowing into the crypto market, and Bitcoin is absorbing them, and we can see an uptick in the SSR. This is really good. This is what we want to see. It means and supports upward price momentum. When we look at Bitcoin futures open interest across all exchanges, whoa, look at that. Futures open interest is skyrocketing upwards. We note a very clear directional relationship between price and open interest. This is looking really good for the crypto market. Turning now to Bitcoin's technical analysis, Bitcoin is currently trading at 49,335, support below 48,902, 48,593, 47,819. We can see that this upward support line is being maintained quite well. It's under resistance here. What is actually occurring is that Bitcoin is doing everything within its power to get through this 50,000 psychological level. It's a really key level, and we can see prices are increasing. We know the open interest is increasing. We know the SSR is increasing. We know the shorts are leaving the market. We know all sorts of things. It looks really good to take out this 50,000. Turning to Ethereum. Ethereum is currently trading at 37.89. It has support below at 37.74, 36.21, 35.15 and 33.94. We notice that Ethereum is still trading above this strong support. It's just consolidating around its current price now, getting ready for the next leg up. We can understand that the open interest is increasing, the shorts are decreasing. We can see the SSR oscillator is increasing. That applies to all cryptos throughout the crypto universe basically. We also have another support line here running through, which will support Ethereum's price at the 36.21 mark or the 35.15. Everything looks pretty good for Ethereum at the current time. Now let's look at the top 7 and the percentage movers over the past 24 hours and 7 days. The top 7 are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, and Solana. The top gainers over the past 24 hours, IOTA, Solana, BitTorrent, AVAX, NEAR, CEL, and HOT. The greatest gainers over the past 7 days, Arweave, Rev, Phantom, Solana, IOTA, CELO, and KSM. The greatest losses over the past 24 hours, Perp, MATIC, KCS, FTT, CELO, Decred, and Clayton. The greatest 7-day percent losses, Cake, AMP, Maker, MDX, Clay, Leo, and Tel. Let's have a look at the top 33. According to the past 14 days, Solana is out in front, up 95.74%. Go Sol! AVAX is up around 66%. XTZ up nearly 50%. ADA around 38%, followed by FTT, Atom, DOT, ETH, TRX, ALGO, VET, XMR, BNB, Link, Filecoin, Luna, Uni, XRP, Litecoin, and then Bitcoin. Under Bitcoin are Cake, Neo, Axie Infinity, Ethereum Classic, EOS, MATIC, Bitcoin Cash, XLM, THETA, Aave, Graph, or The Graph, Maker, and ICP. Let's have a look at the top 8. This is a weekly scale, just something to help you to contextualize what's going on. On a weekly scale, this is Bitcoin. We have a very strong upward support that will reactivate, if required, around the 39,031 level. We can see Bitcoin is currently under resistance, but we know the relative strength is improving. Always understand that weekly is not as sensitive as daily or 4 hour. We can see Ethereum really dramatically improving in price, seeking to take out the previous all-time high. Cardano is like a rocket, it's just rocketing upwards. Well done, ADA. Binance Coin is basically on the way up. It's just doing a little bit of consolidation after a very strong leg up. XRP is coming back to test support and it's bounced from there. Very positive sign. DOGE just a little bit under support. DOT has done really quite well. It's above that once resistance line and it's now acting as support. And Sol is just in party mode. It's just taking off. Or I should say taken off like a rocket. Let's have a quick look through the community requests. It's really important, keep rule 444 in mind. Ignore tips, advice, and marketing. Please always do your own research. Again, these are on a weekly basis. We can see Engine Coin coming in to test support. Holo has tested support on the weekly basis and jumped up in price, clearing resistance. Very good sign. We can see LRC, loop ring, very strong at the moment. MATIC, it's just coming down a little bit. We'll probably test support around the 126 mark. Decentraland, Mana, it's still going up. Even though that's a red bar for the weekly, it's still making a higher low. That is the critical thing to note about uptrends. Icon, doing quite well, just consolidating above that support line. Very positive on price. Looking at Harmony, 1, hit the support line and bounced. Nano, doing nicely. It's actually coming back to that price line, the support, and saying, I don't want to go any further down. Looking at Luna, these are again all on the weekly. We can see Luna has really rocketed up. It's currently testing that support line. There's a bit of indecision if it will go higher or lower right now. Looking at AVAX, AVAX is doing incredibly well. It's got so much strength in here. CELO had a very big spike up, which shows a lot of interest, and then was pushed down, which shows a lot of selling. It's still in a very nice uptrend. We can see HBAR being very well supported through here at the moment. Cosmos has cleared this immediate resistance that was inherent for the past 3 weeks. Literally, it's doing well. KSM, the same, rallying on strength. THETA, below resistance currently. Axie Infinity, we can see just leveling off, losing a little bit of steam. Axie Infinity is so strong. Having a look at GRT, the graph, coming back to support and bounced off. Let's have a look at TFUEL, just seeking to overcome this resistance, but it's on the weekly basis, making higher lows. That's a really good sign. CVC, Civic, bouncing from resistance. ANKR, the same, getting really close to taking out that resistance that's played in for the past, well, literally 4 weeks. Ocean, just under resistance currently. SNX, bouncing from support. ERN, bouncing from support. Digibyte, it's a little bit weak now. It's just under resistance. It's got a support level there. Let's keep our eye on that one. Cartesi, continuing its grind upwards, looking quite good. A lot of positive air above this particular support. Now realize this is a weekly on a log graph because we want consistent percent moves. Zilliqa, ZIL, doing really nicely. Chili's, a lot of positive air above that support, and it's cleared that resistance as well. RLC continues to push upwards. It's taken out the resistance for the past 2 weeks. Basic attention token, BAT, is still under resistance but making higher lows. Arweave, WA, AR is just partying. Tezos, it's come up very high very fast. It's just having a bit of a breather at the moment. Audio is consolidating around this upward support line. Veracity, VRA, has cleared this resistance that has been there for 2 weeks. When we look at AMP, what's AMP up to? It's a little bit wobbly. AMP has a very interesting pattern, probably good for trading or day trading. I think it also very big community with AMP that love AMP. Multivac, we can see MTV has been improving really, really well. It continues to make higher highs. Very nice price behavior. Energy Web Token, EWT, is currently under resistance. It's just seeking to get above this resistance playing in around the 1533 mark. Also, XTC has a similar position. It has resistance at the 18 cent mark. Algorand, let's have a look at Algorand. Algorand is doing quite well. ALGO has cleared the resistance from the past 2 weeks. You can see how valuable this is to sharpen your pattern recognition skills and understand how the market is changing and evolving. DSLA is still trying to overcome this resistance for the past fortnight. We can see flow nearly cleared this resistance, but that has been rejected. But it is still in an uptrend. You notice this low, this is a higher low than that one. We say that is in an uptrend. Rule 47 is all about mastering your edge to become consistently profitable. It's always good to remember that you're a complete artist. You don't have to follow anything that anyone does. All you have to be is successful. Your path towards success is your own. You can use any indicators, any charting, any lines that you want to use, so long as you know what you're doing and you study. There's a lot of knowledge required in the crypto space. Rule 307, excitement is a delayed fill. I'd love to hear your comments about what this rule means to you. Please hop on YouTube and leave a comment on this. This is a really, really vital rule for getting out of Zone 2 into Zone 3. Please let me know what you think. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. If you're new, please say hi and let everybody know where you're viewing from. And if you have any questions, you'll find our community is just so warm and very welcoming. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon as content comes out at various times throughout the day and night. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.